It's been a good long while since I last went to a convention. The only reason I don't go anymore is because everything's just so expensive now. You have to pay so much money for parking, the entry fee, the stuff you want to buy. It's just getting out of hand. I don't like to go to them anymore. I usually just go to ones that are just low entry fee or just free in general. I go there, have some fun, eat some food, hang out with my friends, we have a good time. That's basically my whole gist of conventions nowadays. I used to be a diehard fan who just go to any type of anime convention I'd go to, but now I've kind of taken a step back and just sort of relaxed and kind of settled in there. But not all those conventions were like cookies and rainbows. They were some bad ones as well. Sometimes I'd go there just absolutely wandering around, bored out of my mind, absolutely starving because I didn't want to spend any more money than I had to. So sometimes they could be a little cringe or sad, but that's kind of the experience. There's always going to be some imperfections whenever you go to these kind of things, but every so often you get a big winner, something that is just so sad beyond compare that you just have to talk about it, and it's just going to go down into the memory books of the internet like just crazy. It's going to be seared into everything. And we finally got another one of those. Barbie Dream Fest. This whole convention was a fucking joke. I have never talked about Barbie at all. I have a friend who's really into it, but for me, it's just not my cup of tea, not my favorite toy in the world. I know there's a lot of Barbie fanatics out there who love to collect everything. They had the whole Wicked thing with the Barbie toys from Mattel, where they had the link to the, porn site. That was a pretty good chapter in Barbie's life. Glad to see that we at least had that sort of fun there. And you would think that a convention like this would be adored by a ton of people. You'd have people coming in selling like all this rare Barbie merchandise, people scalping it to other people, which they probably already do. And you would expect like a big turnout or like rolling out the pink carpet or red carpet and just, spending no expense because this is probably going to be a big success. Well, guess what? That was a fucking lie.
So you walk in the doors and they sent waivers so we could sign to ride those little bikes. This is the little bike thing. The first thing I noticed, there's a lot of empty space.
That is probably the saddest convention I have ever seen. I've seen conventions that are just so low budget, they still filled up the whole frickin' space. Even with space that's bigger than that, usually you'd have like the whole artist alleys, you'd have the dealer room, you'd have people who are like working convention panels and everything. Comparing those two, it's like night and day. It reminds me back of that old Tumblr convention DashCon, where it had the, little ball pit that had just like a little kitty-sized pool in one corner and the little like bunch of rubber balls that were there. It is that kind of sad. I know other people are comparing this to Firefest and everything. That does not compare to that. It was fucking DashCon at its finest that, could be compared to this. Because look at like all that empty space they're using. They even have like all those bikes that you sign waivers for. I don't know why you need to sign a waiver for that. They look like they're on training wheels, so it'd be really impossible to fall over unless they're going to start running people over. I couldn't tell you, but this just looks tragic. It's like that old Willy Wonka experience thing with the whole AI generated poster and things that look like it was just based off of Breaking Bad. It's horrifying.
They advertise the rolling skate, like the roll, Jesus Christ. Roller skating thing pretty hard, but it's literally like a little square. There's like some vendors, a couple vendors we walked through earlier. Not a lot of the vendors are even selling Barbie stuff or little things. So yeah, here's the little roller skating thing. It is so small, definitely just for little kids, not for adults at all. There's some merch sort of stuff over there. This is the supposedly interactive dream house.
That is not a dream house. That is a nightmare house. That is the basically average house. That's the Barbie on food stamps house. Like, man, it's like so sad. Just looking at this convention, I don't even know if that's what you want to call it. It barely passes for that. Maybe like a pop-up event, but even those get more attraction than this would probably get. It's sad. It's horrifying to see. And the crazy thing is, some people pay to see this. Some people have paid hundreds of dollars for like the travel fees, the hotel costs. Someone even apparently paid $1,000 to go to this thing. That is horrifying. Apparently Mattel had some say in this. They were like officially working on this with all these vendors. They were putting all this marketing out because they were talking about how the whole roller skating thing was like really heavily marketed, and it's not even like 30 square feet. I don't think it's like barely anything, and I know it's like just for kids. This whole thing is kind of like more for the kids in aspect, but I don't even think the kids are enjoying this. It's not like they're having that much fun. I think this was a way for parents to bring their kids and just have them distracted for a little bit and maybe just relive some of the excitement of, wow, that's Barbie. I loved Barbie as a kid. I like had all of these things, and it's not even there. There was also some stuff talking about all the merch that was being sold there. It was very little to none. There was nothing Barbie related there for the most part. I think there were some things, like it was mostly photo ops. Like you could see in the whole dream house there where you have someone just taking a picture. They're modeling in front of a Volkswagen, which is supposed to be a marketing ploy for them. So I think Volkswagen was trying to send more of these buses that they had in the 70s and the 80s. But that is just a sad attempt at a dream house. I think Barbie would just be rolling in her plastic grave if she was dead, because this is just sad.
Blankets. You can see garbage on it now. There's somebody modeling or whatever.
Just want to pop in here. I kind of hate the fact that people are actually trying to model for this. It doesn't even look good. There's no good lighting or anything. There's just like one or two people there who are trying to get for the Instagram op. But even if you do this, you're going to be targeted so heavily because you went to this event that was just such a tragedy and a dumpster fire. Like, why would you want to spend so much effort just to take a picture in front of a car like this? Unless it's the people who are working this event who want to try and entice people to be like, oh, let's wait our turn. This looks like they're having fun modeling. Maybe we can do that too. Maybe they're probably just getting paid to do that. Who knows? But I would not want to be caught dead over there.
But one of the things that I noticed big time is how much unused square footage there is in here. Like I do not even know what, this is, so you can pay a few $100s to take your photo.
Cool, so you can't even take your own photos anymore. You have to pay hundreds of dollars just to take a picture and get like an autograph or something. That is just pure scumminess at its finest. There's like no backdrop there. There's nothing. There's like absolutely nothing there that's worth taking a picture of, unless there's someone who's just like a cosplayer or something and you want to try and get their autograph. But why would you want to pay so much money just to get a signed picture or like a photographer to take a picture at this horrible event? For $200 I could take my own picture, edit it for free, and it still probably turned out better than what these people are offering.
And get your autographs there. There's more vendors over here. Some stuff over here. I actually think this is really cute. It's like the little girls can get like big time makeovers. There was supposed to be a glam bar, which I have not seen anywhere yet, but there's so much open, empty space. I thought on day one there would be a ton of people here. There definitely is not a ton of people here.
That's day one. Good lord. Usually like around the second half of the whole convention scene, usually the crowd kind of dies out around then because everyone goes in, buys what they need, and then they kind of just take it easy for the rest of the scene. Unless they're like in school or something, that's pretty much it. But if this is day one, just pack up your bags and go. You're not making a single dime off this. The only thing that like really popped up here was that little place where little kids can go dress up. They can look pretty and stuff. That's kind of like the whole Barbie shtick. You like want to make kids look pretty and stuff. They want to dress up. They want to be like their own little princesses and everything. That's the closest thing I saw to anything like this that's Barbie related, because it is a kid's toy. You want to try and send the message that like Barbie's a beautiful thing. You can make your own. You can be beautiful all you want on the inside. It's just that. This was the closest thing. I don't even think it's Barbie like related, but it's probably the closest thing to the brand in general.
People are selling things that are not Barbie at all, not for little things at all. That was kind of one of the things that sort of was odd, is how many vendors aren't even selling like Barbie people stuff. This is cute. You can take a picture and make a little frame for yourself. This is the main stage where like a lot of the big speakers are speaking, and yeah, that in a nutshell is Dreamfest. It's laughable. The interactive dream house is not. So, I mean, there's some good and bad. I heard somebody say that they felt fire-fested, that they like made this big to-do about this huge production and how it's just not. So today's only day one. We'll see how the next 2 days go.
I'm gonna spoil it right there, but I don't think the next 2 days are gonna happen. I think they should just pack up their things and go. Just get out of there while you still can. Walk away from this before you get memed on even further, because this is just sad. People spent a lot of money on this. They wanted to go and enjoy this whole convention that was being brought to them and advertised them for them like crazy. And it really sucks when you go to these kind of things and it's just so lackluster. You barely have anyone selling anything that's related, and you have just people probably selling things like 3 times marked up the price. And I don't even know why they'd sell it, because there's nothing there to sell. There's like maybe 10 vendors there at most. Like, I don't know what the whole criteria was for this thing. I don't know how bad they decided to break this whole thing together. I don't know if it was like the marketing team, or maybe a group of interns thought it would be cool to have a convention here, and Mattel was just like, yeah, let's do that. That'd be really fucking cool. But man, I don't think I've ever seen something more tragic. I still think DashCon is probably the most tragic convention ever, you know, laid eyes upon on the internet, thanks to Tumblr. But this is coming close. This is a pretty big scam right then and there. Like, even with all the advertising and stuff, you would have hoped that there'd be something related to the whole Barbie situation. But it's just like a whole thing for kids. The only good thing is probably with that whole Michael's stand where they had like the most design out of everyone. They had like at least the most pizzazz or decorations out there. That was like the closest thing you would have seen that's related to the advertising here for this convention. Kudos to Michael's. They actually did a pretty good job there. They made it look like it was a Barbie event, but no one else even tried. Even that poor stage, which I don't even know what the hell they're going to be doing there. If they're going to bring Aqua out and just start singing the I'm a Barbie girl song like it was in the 90s, but I doubt it. I don't even think anyone would want to step foot on the stage. Who the hell is going to be going and representing this brand that apparently just failed at this? So yeah, tragic day for the Barbie fans out there. Hope they didn't spend as much money as they would want to by going to this thing. So that's pretty much it for me. I just want to talk about this because I thought it was just so wacky. But let me know what y'all think. Thanks for watching. Hope y'all enjoyed. I'll talk to you later. See ya.